to show you how to remove the helix out of your clutch. This is on a 2016 RZR 1000S. It's going to be the same process on a RZR XP 1000 2016 and up, RZR 900 with the square rollers. Any clutch with these square rollers, as long as they haven't been replaced with the round ones, it'll be this clutch. So fairly easy. You just got to remember that your helix is under spring pressure, so you need to take your clutch compression tool, anything like this, anything to put pressure on this so you can release it. I mean, you could use a press if you needed to press down on this to hold the pressure. Take these 4 bolts out, and then we can relieve the spring pressure slowly. Helix is under spring pressure. Just note a little bit of caution there. So we're using this threaded rod puller. So we'll throw this down just until it seats, and that's about all you need to do. From there, we're going to take an impact, loosen all these 4 bolts, these torx bolts. Be careful they don't strip out. Very easy to do. Alright, now our helix is loose. So we're going to slowly release the pressure. Pulling this off. And then you can see we're loose. Alright, easy as that. So there's our helix. Our aftermarket helix is already in this one, a prototype one anyways. And then we've got our spring cup here. Some people might get Teflon washers, but you don't want them to go in the spring cup. You want to make sure those go down on the bottom of the clutch if you get Teflon washers. If you don't have the spring tab. Some have a little tab sticking off here, a little prong. You can see where that prong sits in there. Some have it, some don't. Just kind of depends on the year, model, what Polaris was doing. This one had a spring that did not have it in there. So if you got an aftermarket spring, now's the time to put this in. But this one, we're going to put the same spring back in it. We're going to put our spring cup in. This does have an X on it, you'll notice. There's an X on the clutch. It's not going to line up perfectly anyways and can spin, but we'll just line that up anyways. Your helix, if it has an X on it or a number, if it's labeled, you want to put that label towards the X. That's going to be your balance point for it. Not really extremely critical on these, but that's how you want to do it. So when we're assembling this, you want to make sure, slide the helix down on the rollers, set your surface there, lines up, your rollers nicely in there. This is a non-EBS helix, as you can see, so it does not have a reverse cutout. You notice your stock helix has a reverse, or the EBS cutout, I should say. So there's your EBS cutout. We don't have that in most of ours, depending, we can get it for you if you'd like it, but most people don't want the hard engine braking with it. Then just simply thread the nut back down on the rod. Pretty close. Make sure that it goes down evenly. Line our holes up a little bit. I usually don't crank it all the way down just to get the screws in at first so you can easily move the helix. So we'll just start our screws by hand. Thread those in a few threads. Make sure you have Loctite on these. These already have a bunch of Loctite on them, so I'm not going to put it on there, but you do want to make sure you put some blue Loctite on these screws, just so they don't back out on you, because that would be obviously very bad. Alright, we've got all those in there. Now we can actually crank this down all the way until it's seated and run our screws in. Alright, make sure those are good and snug. I'd recommend double checking them with a ratchet just to make sure they're snug. Don't over tighten or strip them, but make sure they're very snug. And that's it. That's your secondary. It's ready to go back on the machine. Fully assembled. You can also do one step, make sure that you Scotch-Brite your sheaves where your belt rides. That way it gives it a nice grip, start fresh. Blow out your clutch, make sure that all the debris is out of it. It's back to looking real nice and clean, and go from there.